which we have been developing also with the help of our contractor TISCI over the last 15 months or so. So today I will begin by presenting briefly the EU's framework on the protection of minors. Then I will cover the age verification solution and where we are with it, the development and the piloting. And I will also give the floor at the end to François Tournois from the French Ministry of the Interior to explain the work they've done in implementing the EU age verification solution in the France Identitaire. So our age verification solution sits within a broader framework on the protection of minors, which is a top priority for the European Commission. The cornerstone of the legal framework is the DSA Article 28 and its guidelines on the protection of minors. In these guidelines, the EU age verification solution is referred to as a compliance example and reference standard for a device-based method of age verification. Other relevant legislation includes the Audiovisual Media Services Directive, as well as the AI Act. Then in terms of the policy, we have the Better Internet for Kids strategy, also known as BIC+. Under this strategy, the Commission supports a network of safer internet centers in the member states. These typically consist of an awareness-raising center, a helpline for children and carers to receive help regarding online risks, as well as a hotline to anonymously report child sexual abuse material. Last year, more than 46 million European citizens were reached through the Safer Internet Centre resources. Other important initiatives include the Commission seeking expert advice on social media age restrictions in Europe in light of online risks, as well as the recently adopted Cyberbullying Action Plan. But in this session, I will focus on the EU age verification solution that we have been developing to support this broader framework. So the EU age verification solution is a solution harmonized across the EU. It's robust, privacy-preserving, user-friendly, and easy to deploy. We have published an age verification blueprint that can be taken up by member states or any other entity or market players. And we're very interested in hearing from others who would like to implement this solution. The solution consists of technical specifications that are aligned with those of the EU Digital Identity Wallet, as well as an open source implementation of these in the form of a mobile application that can be customized to local contexts. Finally, the solution also includes an open source set of tools that can be reused by others to integrate with their solutions, for example, for online services, to implement the age verification solution. So the key characteristics of this solution is, first of all, that it is harmonized across the EU, which means that a proof of age attestation issued in one member state can be used to prove your age against online services in other member states. Further, the EU age verification solution is compatible with the EU Digital Identity Wallet, whose specifications and architectures it follows. The solution is also secure. It's protected by a PIN code, biometrics. The attestation can't be copied from the device, and it's privacy preserving. It simply stores the proof that you're over a certain age, and no other data is stored in the in the application or shared with the online services. Finally, the solution is freely available and fully open source and ready for adoption. So I'll briefly go through the user journey. We have a second session later on at 3:45, I think, where TISCI will provide a deep dive into the solution as well as into the user journeys. So the user downloads the age verification application. They then have to onboard into the application using one of four methods we've made available, which is using national EID, could be with passports or ID cards, third-party applications such as a banking app, or in person using a QR code, for example, at a post office. The user then receives their proof of age attestation, after which the link to the issue is cut, and the issuer does not know where the user presents their proof of age attestation. So when the user then visits an age-restricted or visits age-restricted content on an online service, that service will ask the user to prove they're old enough to see that content. The user will then have If it's on the same device, there will be a direct link from the online service into the age verification application, where the user can then approve that their proof of age is shared. If it's on a cross-device flow, so the user's on a different, say on the laptop, then there's a QR code displayed, and the user can scan that with their proof of age, or with their application, to share their proof of age with the online service. So when the user then decides to share the proof of age attestation, the online service receives it. They have to then validate that. They have to make sure that it's been issued by a trusted issuer, that it's still valid, and that indeed that the user is over the correct age. And then they can, the user will be given access to the content. So here we have the ecosystem of the age verification solution. On the left, we have the proof of age attestation providers. So these are the issuers. Their role is to verify that a user is over a certain age and to issue a proof of age attestation to the age verification application, with one of the four methods listed on the left, which I covered in the previous slide. In the middle, we have the age verification app provider. This could be published by a member state or another actor, making the application available to end users. The app could be a standalone application, or it could be integrated into a national wallet or a EU digital identity wallet. And on the right, we have the verifiers. These are the online services that have content which require them to check the age of their users. So when they receive the proof of age attestation from the application, they need to verify that this attestation is correct and valid. And for that, and very importantly, the trust is anchored in a trusted list of issuers, which is on the bottom left. This is a list which is hosted by the European Commission, and it lists all the authorized issuers of proof of age attestations. So each member state should nominate at least one entity authorized to issue these proof of age attestations. And the verifiers can then check the signature of the attestation against the signatures on this trusted list of issuers. So the core principles for us, this is a private solution, but we're preventing tracking and tracing of the user. So first of all, the application stores and shares only the proof of age, no personal data. Data minimization is built in by design. Second, the issuer cannot see where the proof of age is used. And with zero knowledge proof, the online service does not know who issued the proof of age to the user. There's no visibility to the issuer which services the user accesses. Third, separate visits cannot be connected back to the same user. So either, again, this is enabled through zero knowledge proof, or we have batch issuance, where each time you present your proof of age to an online service, that proof of age is deleted. And once you run out of your batch, you have to renew, but there's never the same proof of age is never presented twice online. So the system does not enable monitoring through the use of the proof of age attestations, or tracking of user activity or browsing behavior. We don't store the browsing history or observe which content is accessed. It's not a tool for restricting general internet access. It's a tool to support compliant age verification, not a universal control mechanism. So we've designed a flexible and harmonized framework. The solution ensures that the proof of age are issued, verified, and used consistently across the EU. At the same time, it allows member states or other entities to adapt the implementation to their national contexts. And we have four key principles that all solutions need to follow. So we have a strong user identification at issuance. Proof of age attestations are based on reliable verification methods. It's not based on age estimation or user self-declaration. It's a single shared EU trust framework. So this creates mutual recognition and interoperability across member states, avoiding fragmentation in the EU. Then we have one integration model for online services. So if they implement this solution, they will be able to accept the proof of age attestations from all the member states. and it's designed to be private by design. The system is built to prevent data disclosure and prevent traceability. And despite that, so the solution is also adaptable. So we support different age thresholds depending on specific needs. You can adapt it to your local context, and we have flexible implementation paths. So how you implement it, it could be as a standalone app or a national wallet or the EU Digital Identity Wallet. So this is a timeline. I won't really go through it because that's looking into the past. But the key point is that the solution is now considered feature complete. So in March of this year, we finalized all the features implemented into the solution. And what that means in practice is that the solution has several issuance methods, which I already covered. So national EID, paper ID card onboarding, third party, for example, through a banking app, or in person using a QR code, for example, at a post office. We've also added in support for two proof of age presentation mechanisms. So by default, we support DC API. If that's not available, which is not yet covered by all browsers, then we fall back to OpenID for VP. We've also added in zero-knowledge proof to ensure that there's no linkability between the user and the online and the online service through the use of the proof of age attestation. We support various age thresholds, and the solution is also multilingual. It can support multiple languages at the same time and can be adapted as needed by the publishers. So finally, if you want further information on the policy side, we have the that's our digital strategy website, where you can find out about the EU age verification solution. And for all the technical resources available, you can look at the ageverification.dev website. And I now hand over to Florent Tournois, who will cover the implementation of the solution within France. So.
Okay, thank you. So I'm here to present the French initiative around age verification. First of all, I would like to say that age verification is a political priority. Probably you heard Macron say something about that. Obviously, it's also a European priority, and as we develop eIDAS V2, maybe this kind of use case should be the first proof and demonstration of the UDI wallet capacity and possibility. So for the proof of age and the protection of the minors, we want to follow all protocols from the UDI wallet. This is exactly what we talk about, and following the UDI wallet protocol. So, as I'm the head of the future and probably the first UDI wallet in France, I would like to develop, obviously, the age verification and follow the political wave with the age verification in France. Sorry. This is supposed to be the first slide here. Okay, I'm going to the second slide. In the French approach, maybe we want to develop three kinds of sharing the proof of age. First one is obviously with France Identité, the French wallet. You can directly use it. So you issue a proof of age from the national ID card. You use your French wallet, and you can prove your age to an online presentation or in proximity presentation. So we do both. Another way of thinking is to share the proof of age with another wallet. And so the new wallet can share the proof of age. It's another protocol, and we want to do that. Because as we are administration, we probably know everything about you. So obviously, we can issue a proof of age without facial recognition or whatever, because we know you from the birth to the days. And if we reach the right authentic source from the administration, we can issue the proof of age And it's important for us to share the proof of age with other private applications to develop the full ecosystem, right? So this is the second way of thinking. We share the proof of age with another wallet or another app, and the user can use it to prove his age. In another way, you can go to the casino website or app without using the national government app. You can use another app. It's important for the user, I think. Another way of thinking, we share the proof of age with another app, and the app has their own protocol. It does not follow the UDI wallet protocol or whatever. It's another way of thinking for maybe full integration, maybe for some services, for example. We can do that. Yep. Next slide is where we are now. The age verification is deployed in the beta version, meaning it's in production for a small amount of users. We deploy the real version by the end of the month. We can share the proof of age in proximity. We want to develop some use case to prove your age, and maybe somewhere by iCall or something like that with a payment device or something like that. It would be nice to have a full use case. So we developed the in proximity situation. We developed the sharing of the proof of age with ISO Annex B and OpenID for VP 1.0 and DCAPI. So we follow fully the UDI wallet protocol, which is guidelines from the European Commission for age verification. So we follow the guidelines mainly. And at that time, we do not use zero knowledge proof. We use only batch issuance. Why? Because there is not the right protocol to do that. Maybe at some point I will develop the ZTP standard, but for now we use batch issuance. It's simple, it's useful, and it works. And now a small demonstration with the fake website from the Commission. You're supposed to choose a film, a video, and with a nice QR code, you have to prove your age. And maybe it should work. There is a phone here. You flash a QR code. It's a cross-device situation. You have a phone and a TV, for example. You share the proof of age, but at some point, maybe sooner or later, yeah, it's okay. You go to the movie and it works with your TV, for example, or your laptop. And thank you.
Excellent. Merci beaucoup. Any questions or comments? Ian?
Yeah. Thanks, Robin. You've come to a conference, very firmly wearing my trade association hat, full of private sector age verification providers. Where do they fit into the vision for this ecosystem?
Well, we're keen to work with other providers of age verification solutions. If they can work with this solution, we're also keen to do that, so to integrate into our solution. We want to see maybe a diversity of solutions, but yes, we think our solution is the way to do that. So yes, we're interested in hearing from age verification providers on how we can work together. And if you are interested, then please reach out to me so we can work on that.
Yeah. I have to use the microphone because people online won't hear otherwise.
Thank you. I'm Jan Hol from the Dutch Media Authority. Thank you for your presentation. I was wondering, how does it work when one wants to prove that he or she is 13 plus, for instance? Because it's basically all related to passport or other forms of ID. How does it work with those minors that don't have these kinds of ID?
So this is can be challenging, let's say, to how do minors verify their age. Nevertheless, in most member states, there are ways for they know the age of minors, so we're working on solutions that could be in person, for example, that the minor can show present themselves in a post office or some supported office where they can be issued this solution, the age proof of age attestation. If they have a passport, that could work. So there are ways of many ways of doing this. That's why we have 4 onboarding methods. But it's also so for the member states or for the implementers of the publishers of the solution to be able to issue proof of age attestations to minors if that's required. So it depends on when that might be required to show that you're over 13, for example.
So you don't accept age estimation with liveness tests and so on?
No, not in this solution. Yeah.
The back?
Yeah.
Just to add something for the youth, in France, probably we want to reach the school account. So for the youngest people, they already have an account for whatever is a school. Probably there is an online something. There is an account somewhere. My goal is to reach that account and extract a proof of age for the young people. So we can work on 13 plus and whatever plus, in fact. Also, but Robin said that already, with the national ID card, we can also provide a proof of age for the very young people, if they have one, of course.
There was something at the back? Yeah.
You said there's a number of methods of onboarding users, and you're also keen on working with commercial verification providers. Can the user opt to share what the underlying method of providing that age verification was when they give consent to share their age? Because in some jurisdictions, it's important to know that to make sure, for example, if you're using your ID in the US, that the method is a COPPA compliant method.
So in this solution, we're based on verification or age verification. We don't have within, let's say, the attestation, I don't know how to say it, an attribute which defines how that was done. We have a trusted list of issuers, and those issuers are decided or chosen by the member states. So the member states are then responsible for having issuers which are doing appropriate age verification.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else would like a question or a comment? Voilà. Yeah.
You mentioned that age estimation isn't included, but for people that are obviously adult, and in the spirit of sharing as little data as possible, what's the Commission's thinking as to excluding that as a valid form of enabling people to validate themselves as being adult?
Well, we're basing our solution on age verification. I think we don't really want to decide when you could choose age estimation and when not. We go with age verification. Most adults can also might have an ID card or a passport, but yeah, we're focused on age verification, not on age estimation.
But presumably, if there was a private application that allowed somebody to do that otherwise met your standards, you would achieve the same result. A person would be able to prove that they were an adult without having to go through the same processes as been described, because they could use a private sector application, where, for example, estimation was allowed. Yeah.
No, in this solution, we're using age verification only. We're not using age estimation.
For the proximity solution, I'm interested in the choice of using the 18013 standard, which, as I understand it, requires you to share your portrait, to share your image with the relying party. The approach we took with the industry in the UK was not to do that because we wanted data minimization and we didn't want to be handing over portraits. So instead, we did the authentication on device and then simply share a QR code that says this person, anonymous, is over 18. Are you wedded to the 18013 standard, or do you have some sympathy with my concerns that you're handing your photos to the bouncer at the nightclub?
It's a tricky question because there is two ways of thinking about that. First of all, for example, my wife buy some wine on a supermarket. Obviously, there is no need to share a picture, obviously. But in Australia, if you go to a bar, you have to share with a QR code and also your picture, because in another way, with maybe the ISO committees are very clear on that, we cannot trust the display of the device. We cannot trust. The only way to trust it is to share the picture for just an instant to just check. It's always tricky. And for the supermarket, probably the answer, not sharing. Probably for the nightclub, the answer is probably yes. And probably we have to have a different level of response, depend of the fraud. Obviously, the youth want to go to the nightclub, maybe, and maybe not the oldest, but we have to define everything. I'm not agreeing with the full ISO committee on that. And that's why on the French solution, I print the picture. And at that time, I'm not sharing the picture with a QR code proof of age, because I develop a special card with tricky stuff to reproduce. It's not a full security, but it's a start. And I want to put inside the law, if you copy that kind of card, I can sue you. It's another way of thinking.
So just to add, so the EU age verification solution isn't out of the box designed to support proximity use cases. So it's made for online, but it can be adapted probably for proximity. But the design is for online age verification.
Okay. There you go. We're running out of time, but the lady there, and then yeah.
Thanks very much. It's a question for the French example, if I may. You've obviously talking here about age verification solutions, but when you're thinking about providers and particularly citizens who choose not to take up these particular solutions, what are you thinking about in France in terms of alternative methods for age understanding?
In France, there is some development of other solutions. Like we have a solution with facial recognition, we have solution with, so we have a plenty solution. For example, I think Yoti somewhere here, they provide some solution and it's available, of course. But as a government, it's important for us to provide a large solution as we want everything to be operational in September. So we have to develop that right now. And there is some other solution.
The idea is not that citizens are forced to take up these solutions. They will be given a range of options from which to choose. Okay.
Exactly. Obviously, the French, we cannot force anything.
And this will be the last question, I'm afraid, because
you provide software like a framework. How far is it from the ready app? So is it almost an app? You're just not making it? Or is it just a framework and then starts work?
No, so we provide a white label application as part of this project, so that's available in source code for that is available. I think also the package that can be downloaded onto your smartphone. So we provide the tooling, but still we are expecting others to take that and to publish that. So the Commission won't be publishing the applications. We provide the technical specifications. We provide support in terms of source code, a white label application, but that will then be taken by the member states to publish in the app stores.
okay. Laurent?
Just another, it's a statement maybe. In France, we start a work stream to make the full ecosystem up compatible with age verification and the whole protocol from the wallet. So we start a stream with a session of information, interop event, and whatever you need. There is my team ready to answer every technical question, ready to help. We can provide code, help to do some stuff, and maybe to test. And we want to organize interop event test. If you want to be part of it, just talk to me or my team.
Thank you very much indeed. That was really interesting. Thanks a lot.